Okay, so I guess I'm in the dessert community now, maybe. I'm making desserts every week, so it seems like I am. But if I am, then, well, I gotta figure out who all the players in the game are, because I don't know who any of these famous chefs and names attached to all these recipes I'm following. So it's really on me to figure out who these people are. I'm gonna start with a new guy today. His name is Dominique Ansel, and he's a French pastry chef who's based out of New York. He invented the Cronut, the croissant meets a donut thing. I was gonna make that today, then I read the recipe and I got scared. So instead, I'm gonna make his signature peanut butter chocolate crunch cake. Peanut butter, chocolate, yep. So first, let's just break it down. What we got going on today, I got 3 components to make. We got a chocolate puffed rice, we have a peanut butter mousse, and we have a dark chocolate ganache. 3 things to make. So let's get started. Got to get all the ingredients. I'm going to start with the puffed rice. Rice Krispies, you know. 70 grams of Rice Krispies. 35 grams corn syrup, which I don't have. I'm using golden syrup. 18 grams of granulated sugar. 70 grams of dark chocolate. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Heat up the oven as your very first step. It's a boring one, but it's a necessary one. I'm gonna heat up the golden syrup for 30 seconds. Getting all my ducks in a row. And then I'm gonna pour it all over, pour the syrup all over the Rice Krispies. Also the sugar. Get that all up in there too. Move fast, move fast. Okay, all incorporated. Baking sheet and parchment paper. Yep. Spreading them evenly, Stevenly. After 15 minutes, the Rice Krispies should be caramelized and toasty. Snap, crackle, pop. Chocolate in the microwave until it's melted. You gotta check every 10 seconds to make sure that chocolate isn't spiraling out of control. Pour it all over, mix it in. Okay, I got my cake ring measuring around 8 inches here, and a strip of acetate, well, 2 strips of acetate. I'm gonna put those around the ring of this cake ring, hello. And then the Rice Krispies onto the parchment paper, and there's gonna be a little leftover, which is great because it's gonna come in handy later. Keep that in the fridge, let it firm up, and take it out when I'm ready for it, which isn't gonna be for a bit. So we're moving on to our peanut butter mousse. And well, there's a bit more ingredients to this one than there was to the previous. Lots of stuff going on. This is where the challenge is gonna be. Mousse. I don't know if I've ever made a mousse. 11 grams gelatin powder. I have gelatin sheets, which they're interchangeable, so I just had to figure out how many I needed, which is I think 3, like a third. Some cold water for those precious sheets. 160 grams of whole milk. 5 large eggs, which I'm using the egg yolks for those. 100 grams, half a cup of granulated sugar. Half a cup of peanut butter. That is not going to be enough, so I have more here. 400 grams of heavy cream. First and very foremost, I have to have that gelatin bloom. So what I'm gonna do is add my water to a bowl. Are you recording? You don't wanna miss this gelatin. In my water, I'm gonna add the 3 sheets of gelatin and then 1/3 of one. I don't know. Get those up in the water and these are gonna bloom. Put the milk in a medium saucepan and bring to a boil over medium heat. Milk on the heat, gelatin's Orlando blooming. What else do I need to do? 1 bowl, 2 bowls. Now I'm gonna quickly separate these eggs. 5 eggs means 5 egg yolks. 5 egg yolks. I'm gonna save the egg whites because I'm sure they'll come up one day. This Tupperware lid is not big enough. Okay, I'm moving here. Oops, the friggin' milk. The milk started boiling, so I need to take that off the heat. What do I do with the milk? What do I do with the milk? Put the milk in a medium saucepan, bring to boil. Already did that. Remove from the heat and keep warm. Okay, the milk I'll just leave back over here. The egg yolks, add the sugar. Mix it all together. Then more of the milk, then pour, what? So I'm gonna pour some of this hot milk into the eggs, and then I'm gonna whisk it in, and that's to temper the eggs. I guess so they don't cook. Whisk in a bit more of the milk. And then the rest of it, right? Okay, and then pour this into the saucepan. Okay, what do I do? Now I'm gonna cook this on medium-low heat, yes, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes? So I gotta stand here for 10 minutes and whisk this together. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Do I have to stir like a madman, or can I just casually stir? Gently stirring. Oh, gently. So it's just a gentle stir. How far are we into this? Thick enough to coat the back of a spatula. Honestly, it's sticking to the back of the... So I'm gonna turn the heat off. In with the custard, I'm gonna add the bloomed gelatin. Stir that in. The custard still has to be really hot. Now what? Add the peanut butter. Oh, okay. I should have prepared for that. I think the main question of concern right now is, do I have a cup of peanut butter? Okay, I do. I'm adding the peanut butter into what he describes as an anglaise, which I've heard that word before. I'm not 100% sure exactly what it is, but I'm sure I'll just put it up on the screen. Okay, so I am most definitely not happy with what I've done here because the consistency is not matching his at all. This does not look appetizing or beautiful the way he's got it. He's got it nice and smooth. Mine is kind of just, I don't know, it's what you'd expect from me, really. That's unacceptable because, well, that's all the peanut butter I have. So I gotta make this work somehow. There's gotta be a way to rescue it. If I add 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk, that might help. What the fuck? This to me is just so freaking wrong. I don't know how I'm supposed to work with that. It's not gonna look nice in the friggin' cake. I think it's time to experiment. You know a custard probably better than I do, and I can assure you, I don't think it's supposed to be able to do that. I mean, naturally what I want to do is reheat this and smooth it out, but I don't think that's going to be what fixes this. What I think I need to do is, there's already a lot of sugar, there's already a lot of eggs and peanut butter in this, and gelatin. I think if I just add more milk, bring that to a boil, and maybe slowly start adding this, whisking furiously, will that smooth it out? We're going to start with that and we're going to see where it goes. How much milk do I need? Let's just try 2/3 cup of whole milk. Just add all of it. See what happens. Hopefully, off. Son of a bitch, I think it's working. I think it's working. That's exactly how it should look. That's exactly how it friggin' should look. Look at that. Nice, smooth, runny. So it needs to cool down, but besides that, I do not want a thing about it to change. Okay, so we're not out of this just yet. Silver fox. So with your favorite and most expensive toy you got, add the heavy whipping cream. Did I tell you about the whipping? 400 grams of heavy cream. So I'm gonna whip up this cream until it's reached soft peaks. What in God's name is going on? That did not do, what the fuck? There's no way I overmixed that. Why is it not, fuck. This is what it turned into, freaking looking, ricotta looking shit. Of course the cream didn't come together. I mean, it was sitting on the counter for like 45 minutes to an hour. It was completely room temperature. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, probably does. Nevertheless, it's still very frustrating. It's just like hot in here, I'm frustrated. Time is slipping away. I'm making stupid mistakes. Trying this again, except, and I stress, with cold, heavy cream. Let's do this. So I have a feeling I left this going for too long this time because now it's turned into whipped cream. And luckily I bought enough cream today. I was gonna use the cream for 2 different recipes, but now I guess I'm all in for this one. All the bowls are dirty. Yep, why would they be clean? For the third and final time, it's all or nothing, baby. So that might be closer to stiff peaks, but I'll take it. You have done more than enough today. So in a bowl, I'm going to combine peanut butter, custard, take some of that cream, and then you're gonna just bring it in just a little bit, get the party started, and then it all goes in, all of it. What are you doing? So I'm just gonna keep mixing this until I no longer see the cream. I don't think I see it anymore. Do I see it? No, I see a peanut butter chunk, which I'm going to take out. Okay, so now we go to the fridge and remove the pan that you put in there from earlier with the Rice Krispie base. Remember that? It is firmed up completely. It is looking ready for me to add this peanut butter mousse thing on top. Okay, I'm gonna take an offset spatula and smooth out the top. So I gotta put this in the fridge or the freezer, probably the fridge first because there's no room in the freezer, until it's completely firmed up and like kind of frozen almost. So yeah, it has to go in the freezer. It's just, I don't think there's any room in there right now. I'll figure it out, but for now, I'm gonna get it in the fridge. There's no room. Whew. It's break time. Let's make the chocolate ganache. 220 grams of heavy cream, 45 grams of whole milk, 220 grams of dark chocolate, 45 grams of room temperature butter. Okay, so the big thing here is that that cake needs to be a frozen like block for when I pour the ganache on top. If you're pouring it onto something that's like thawing out and kind of turning into a bit of a softie, then the ganache isn't gonna set on it, right? So you gotta move fast here. But you have to make sure that the ganache is hot enough to be able to pour on top of the cake. Milk and the cream in the saucepan. Bring it to a boil. While I wait for that to boil, I'm gonna chop up my chocolates. Okay, once the cream starts boiling, add the chocolate into the bowl. I'm gonna drizzle some of this cream. Okay, add more of the cream. You want that chocolate to melt, or just all of it, because it's probably gonna seize up like it did the other day. Nothing is combining with the chocolate. It's just seized right up. Just kind of take it easy with the chocolate. It's not a rush. You just wanna make sure that it melts completely. You're kind of on its schedule. Combining the liquids and the chocolate together, and you know, you really have to work on that relationship. I'm gonna add the butter. Now I'm gonna mix that till it's melted. So Dominique Ansel, he has this little trick where, I don't know if it's his trick, could be anyone's trick. You put the plastic wrap on a baking pan, kind of like this. Okay. Okay. And then you're gonna put your cooling rack, your oven rack, whatever rack this even is, and that goes on the baking sheet like that. Boom. I gotta get the cake. Let's unwrap this, take the acetate off. Now he just casually like picks it up and takes a look at it, kind of like what I'm doing. You can see it's a heavy brick, right? Now the trick, he says, is to just go fast. Don't talk to the camera, just do it. And I'm gonna pour it right onto the cake. He says start in the center. Chocolate could be a bit more runny. I think it's not hot enough. I don't know. It's too late now, no regrets. And then take a spatula and I'm just gonna spread the chocolate across the top so that it goes over the sides. Make sure it's all covered. This thing is drying fast. So I need some more chocolate. Do I have enough? Yep, more of it. More. And which side is naked, this side. Okay, on, down, that way, go. If I need any more chocolate like I do right now, I can take these plastic, I need more of this. See the trick? Offset spatula. Pick this son of a bitch up. Oh yeah. And then he says to like use the offset spatula to smooth out the bottom as well. What I hold in my hands right now. You can do this. Smooth it, smooth it, smooth it. His looks much more smoothed out and refined. But honestly, I think I'm just running out of time here. I don't want to keep fussing with it, because I do that every time and I just make it worse. I need, oh God. I'm looking for the cake board. So I bought this specifically for this. It's a cake board, right? I would put it down on this surface here, but it's all covered in chocolate. So I'm just gonna put it down here. Gently. No, that's not how we did. I need all men on deck right now. I need to clean that off because I need to try this again. I know what he does. I know what he does. Let's put the paper towel there so then you can put that there. Okay, the offset spatula, and he puts it on the son of a bitch. Okay, and now onto the cake board. I think what I have to do ASAP before I go any further is just put this into the freezer, because I know what's underneath this is melting. So have a look, have a really quick look. Okay, my new cake drum does not fit in the freezer. So one last little thing I gotta do here is just switch it back to my smaller cake drum. Cake drums, cake plates, cake boards. So that's gonna hang out in the freezer for another 2 hours. Oh man, that was intense. With all the mayhem, I completely forgot to decorate the cake. I was gonna put stuff on top. The icing has hardened a bit, but I'm still gonna try my damnedest to make this look beautiful. Firstly, I have the leftover Rice Krispie. Oh, that's a good one. He just puts them on one side. On top of that, he's using peanuts. Oh, peanuts. So he just puts a few peanuts on top. The last peanut. To sum up what biting into that tastes like, I could say it's like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. It's like a giant Reese's. It's made me blind. This slice I had, let me explain it to you. It was a cold but not frozen slice of like what is a gourmet Reese's Peanut Butter Cup on steroids. So you see how my chocolate ganache isn't smooth, shiny, glossy? I was trying to get the gloss, and mine's more of a matted, kind of a rough around the edges look to it. So I'm doing something wrong, and maybe someone can tell me what it is. I'm happy I figured out who Dominique Ansel is, because that is out of this world. To the chef. Not me. To Dominique Ansel. I'm just following orders. You should make that. Big shout out to my supporters on Patreon, up on the screen right now if you're interested in that. There's a link in the description. And I have Instagram. Do you? Because we'll find each other and we'll say hi. Bye.